As I slowly opened my eyes, the dim glow of a street lamp outside cast an eerie light on the unfamiliar room. I was lying on a narrow bed, with a single, worn-out blanket covering me. My head throbbed with a dull ache, and my memories were hazy. I tried to recall how I ended up here, but my mind was a complete blank. Panic began to set in as I scrambled to my feet, frantically searching for any clues. The room was small and cluttered, with old books and strange artifacts scattered all over the shelves. A faint smell of incense wafted through the air, making my stomach turn. I stumbled towards the door, hoping to find some answers outside. As I stepped out into the cool night air, the sounds of the bustling city hit me like a wave. People rushed past me, their faces illuminated by the neon lights of the street vendors. I took a deep breath, trying to clear my head. I was a sorcerer, or at least I used to be. A curse had been cast upon me, rendering my magic useless. I had been on the run for months, trying to find a way to break the curse. But now, I had no idea where I was or how I got here. As I walked through the crowded streets, I noticed a figure watching me from across the street. He was tall and imposing, with piercing blue eyes that seemed to bore into my soul. I recognized him instantly. It was Malakai, my former apprentice and the one who had cast the curse upon me. My heart sank, and I felt a wave of fear wash over me. What was he doing here? I tried to lose him in the crowd, but Malakai was relentless. He followed me through the winding streets, always staying just out of reach. I could feel his eyes on me, and I knew I had to confront him eventually. As we walked, the city seemed to grow darker and more menacing. The shadows seemed to twist and writhe around us, like living things. Finally, I stopped in front of a small, run-down cafe. I pushed open the door and stepped inside, hoping to lose Malakai in the crowded room. But as I turned to face him, I saw that he was already seated at a table, sipping a cup of coffee. He smiled at me, his eyes glinting with amusement. "You're just in time," he said, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "I've been waiting for you." I felt a surge of anger, but I knew I had to keep my cool. I sat down across from him, trying to read his expression, but Malakai's face was a mask, revealing nothing. "Why have you been following me?" I demanded. Malakai leaned back in his chair, steepling his fingers together. "I've been watching you for months," he said. "I've been waiting for you to realize the truth." I frowned, feeling a sense of unease. "What truth?" Quote. Malakai's smile grew wider. "The truth about the curse," he said. "It wasn't me who cast it upon you. It was you who cast it upon yourself." I felt like I had been punched in the gut. What was Malakai talking about? I knew I hadn't cast the curse. I would have remembered that. But as I looked into Malakai's eyes, I saw something there that made my blood run cold. It was a glimmer of truth. A hint that maybe, just maybe, I had been deceived all along. I stood up, my mind reeling with questions. "Why would I do that?" I demanded. Malakai shrugged. "Grief. Perhaps. You were consumed by your own sorrow, and you didn't know how to heal. So you created a curse. A way to punish yourself for your own perceived failures." I felt like I had been living in a dream that was rapidly unraveling. I didn't know what to believe anymore. Was Malakai telling the truth? Or was this just another one of his tricks? As I turned to leave, I felt a strange sensation in my fingers. It was a tingling, a buzzing that seemed to grow in intensity. I looked down, and my eyes widened in shock. My hands were glowing, a soft, blue light emanating from my fingertips. The curse was breaking, and I had no idea what that meant for my future.